Hello, I'm Chef Kitchener here at the Philadelphia Country Club, and I'm preparing for you tonight the 7 Fishes Christmas Eve dinner. Originally, it came from the southern part of Italy. It's a Roman Catholic tradition, and it actually has become more popular here in the United States than it is in Italy. Not always there are 7 fishes, sometimes there's 12 fishes, there's 15 fishes. It really depends on the region of Italy. I have prepared for you today 7 fishes. What is it actually the 7 fishes mean? Some say it's the 7 sacraments, some say it's the 7 virtues, and some say it's God as He created the world. It's the 7 days, but the 7th day is actually the day of rest. So again, depending on who you're talking to, there's really no clear definition of where and why there are 7 fishes, and there's also no really any stipulation. It can be only 7. Like I say, it can be 12 or 15. We're actually also preparing in Western Europe. That's like in Austria, whatever, where I'm from. We have Christmas Eve really traditionally where there's only a seafood diet. There's not any meat eaten. Like in my country, we're eating carbs and perch and what have you. But anyway, the dinner what I have here for you today, and you can prepare it by course or you can prepare it as a buffet. First, we're starting off with a fritto misto, where we're using some eel, some shrimp, some scallops, some snapper. We have fried them with a little bit of vegetables. I'm using zucchinis, yellow squash, some herbs, some garlic, sisal leaf. I'm putting it in there because I like the flavor. It's slightly citrusy with a little peppery flavor. Next, we're going to Tuna Crudo. I'm serving that with some fennel, orange salad with some fried caper blossoms and extra virgin olive oil. Next, we're doing pakala. Pakala seems to be in all of the dinners. It's a salted cod. If you're going to buy it unperched, then you basically got to soak it in a mixture of milk and water for about 24 to 48 hours, and then actually change that liquid, that water milk mixture every 6 hours. It takes out the salt in that and makes the fish much more pliable. Next one, we're doing Adriatic seafood stew, where I'm going to use clams, mussels, squid, monkfish, some Calabrian chili peppers, just to give it some kick, served with some grilled ciabatta bread. Then we're going to make a lobster and jambalaya crab meat angel hair pasta with a crab meat cream sauce. Then we're doing roasted branzino. I have chosen fillets of branzino, but actually whole branzino works much better with the method I have today, because we're stuffing the whole branzino with some vegetables and then serving it with roasted potatoes and some broccoli rabe. And then to finish off the whole thing, because you have all the seafood, we created a ginger lemon tiramisu with some candied cranberries, and those ones I will put on the market list. You can buy already. I'm putting the recipe on there, so if you feel like making it, you can make it. All of the recipes we will have posted on the website. All of the seafood items what you have on that dinner here today, you will be able to get on the marketplace. So first, we're starting off with the fritto misto. Eel is definitely one of the seafoods what you always have. The eel here I have already peeled, so the skin is already off. I'm having some garlic cloves. I have some snapper fillets. Some scallops. And then we have some shrimps. Everything I have here is without shell and without bones. So I leave the shrimps as they are. The scallops, if you have some big ones, you cut them in half. Otherwise, you leave them as they are. The snapper, we cut in some like finger type. I leave the skin on. You can take the skin off if you want to, but we're cutting it in fingers like this. And then I have the eel. I actually take the eel, cut it a little bit, and then I'm filleting it. I'm not using the whole eel. I just go down in the middle. I know a lot of people take the eel and eating it as it is, but like I said already, and it's very easy because you got right in the middle the bone structure, and you go right down the eel bones, and you're ending up with a fillet like this. The same on the other side. Follow the rib cage of the eel, and you slide it right on. And here we go. Cut those ones into pieces too. Everything a little bit more chunkier, so it fries out nicely. And then I have the garlic, which we blanched. We cut those in half. Take some of the zucchinis and the yellow squash. This is the yellow squash what I have here. Cut it into quarter pieces. Take the center out. And we're getting rid of the insides. Then I have the zucchini. I do the same thing. This one we can move. I take the seeds out. Okay. And then like I said, I have some sisal leaf. Samuel Sons have them, but we also have them here. I just take a couple of them. A little bit of parsley. We picked it already. And here's all your items, what you have for your Tiramisu. We're cutting those a little bit lengthwise, so you have small fingers on the vegetables. I actually do not season the seafood, and the reason is, and I will show you that in a minute here. I have already flour, which is seasoned, just regular all-purpose flour. You can put in some semolina also if you want to. And then I have some buttermilk, which has Cajun seasoning already in there. And now we're going to fry that. I have here a table fryer. The oil is at 375 degrees. I take some of my shrimps, scallops, fish, eel, garlic, vegetables. Put it all in there. Now the key is that you drain the vegetables and the seafood when you take it out of the buttermilk, otherwise you get all the flour lumped up what you have here. And then just take it and toss it in the flour and drop it in the hot oil. Alright? I have Brandon here. He's going to assist me here, so you have your gloves on. He's going to continue to fry all of those, and then they're going on there. While I'm going to make the aioli, what we're going to serve with the Tiramisu. An aioli traditionally is made with egg yolk, almost like you're doing a mayonnaise. And in fact, for easier work, we're using mayonnaise here. Then I have lemon juice. Here you go. And some garlic, which we're going to finely chop. All right, let me turn this over because we have the seafood on there. Sanitize my knives. I have some sanitation liquid. And now we're going right ahead here. Cut the lemons in half. I need the lemon juicer from Mike. So I have some lemon in here. Mayonnaise. I'm choosing some lemons in there. And then we're mincing the garlic, and we're putting that one also in the aioli. Season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and this is it. So one of the things is, if you mince garlic and you want it nicely done, slice it a little bit, put a little salt in there, then take the back of your knife and just smashing it off if you do not have a garlic press, and you get nicely minced garlic. Becomes like a paste. This is exactly what we want. Put it in there. Little salt and pepper. And mix it all up. You want the consistency of a dipping sauce. I will taste it in a minute to make sure you fry everything, yeah? Okay. Tasting spoon. A little bit more salt. And one more lemon. So 2 lemons is about enough. You want to make sure you got a nice little tang to that whole dish, and it gets you also then the right consistency. Okay, so be cleaning up here. This one goes in the dipping bowl here. Right in the center. Now here we're going to get another cutting board. Okay, some rock lemon on this side. Need some sisal leaves, put me those in there. So as you can see, they're nice and crispy. You put them on a paper towel where you can drain them off. The vegetables are nice and crispy. Perfect first course to the 7 fishes dinner. The garlic. I got everything here. We're going to get the sisal leaves, which I said You can use, you don't have to use them. It should be done. Okay, we have them right here. Perfect. Okay, and then we take everything away here. And here you go with your first course. Finished the Tiramisu. Now we're going to the next course, which is our Tuna Crudo. I have here some sushi tuna, and what I have done is I slightly put it in the freezer to firm it up a little bit so it makes it easier to slice. So we're thinly slicing that. I have some capers, and we're going to deep fry the capers in the same fryer as before. You can do that like a generous and deep fry them. Then I have here some micro watercress, and I have also some sorrel, rainbow sorrel. It has a slight lemonade, a little bit of flavor, some fennel. I keep some of the fennel broth and some orange. So the first thing what we're going to do is I'm going to slice the tuna, and I have here a platter where I'm going to put in the tuna. Now crudo means raw. If you want to, you can take the tuna and slightly sear him. That also will help you then a little bit in terms of slicing it nice and thin as well presentation wise. This one here is uncooked. Slice it very thin. Of course you need a sharp knife for that. And like I said, it's as you can see, it's just slightly frozen in the center. So that helps you to cut the tuna in nice and thin slices. Okay, here's our tuna. Meanwhile, I'm going to cut the lemon, not the lemon, I'm sorry, the orange. And we want to make some orange segments, and that's just done very easily by peeling the orange. Okay, we don't keep the peels, and then right in between the membrane, take your knife and cut your knife. All right. You can use blood oranges. You actually could do it also grapefruit if you want, big grapefruit. You want to get the citrus because it only gives you the flavor, but it also slightly to cook the fish when you put it then over it. Okay, this is what we have here. We're pressing the juice out. We have some more rock lemons. Okay, then I take the fennel. Just cut the fennel in half. Take the core out. Then I want to slice it very finely. Almost like paper thin, because it helps you then to marinate everything. Okay, that should be enough. I put this together with the oranges. I put a little bit of salt in there and pepper. Okay, and then we need a little bit of lemon. We have the virgin olive oil, and we got our sorrel. So the sorrel, really I have more as well for garnishes. So we put a little bit here. It makes it look pretty. And you just want to take the top and take the stems off. Alright, that should be enough. And then, as I said already before, we did some fried caper blossoms. Okay, I mix up. I have the juice in there of the oranges and the orange segments itself, and then I get some lemons. All right, here I have my lemons. I put a little bit of lemon juice in there. Mix it all up, and now I arrange that salad right on top of my tuna, or on the side like I have it here. Take the juice, put it over my tuna. And then take some of the fried caper blossoms, put that on top. And then just a little bit of salt, sea salt, and of course, last but not least, our olive oil. And here's our Tuna Crudo. Enjoy. Alright, so we're moving right along to our next course, which is braised bacala. Bacala is a salted dried cod, and like I said before, you got to make a mixture of milk and water and soak it anywhere from 24 for 48 hours, changing the water milk mixture every 6 hours. This is how the bacala then looks when it's reconstituted and soaked. And I keep the skin on, and although we make a braise, I slightly saute off the skin. We have tomatoes, bay leaf, olive oil, cured black olives, so they're not brined, they're cured in olive oil, parsley, capers, and onion and garlic. So for the first thing, I'm putting olive oil in the pan. I'm not seasoning the fish because it is, like I said, already soaked, and I put the skin side down. Okay. Meanwhile, I take my Roma tomatoes, cut them in half, and take the seed and take the core out. Yeah. It's a very easy, very simple dish. That should be enough. I'll take them in half and just cut them in chunks. I want to make sure that my okay. Want to make sure you have somewhat of a non-stick pan. And that's all what I want to do is take the fish, some of the skin actually come off. And slightly brown it. Okay. Now I'll put some more olive oil in there. Got this hot. Got my onions chopped. And put it in there with the tomatoes and the garlic. And we want to saute that. As you notice, I haven't put the garlic in there yet on purpose because I don't want the garlic to burn. Okay, I take the garlic then, and I just slice it. Open me the wine, please. Bottle opener is right in here. For that one I use some Italian dry white wine to replace it. And you do wanna cook that down a little bit. Before we put the olives, the capers in there, a little bit of wine. Okay. I'm putting now the garlic in there. I'm putting the capers in there. And the olives, the capers, the bay leaf, and coarsely chopped the parsley. And here we go. That becomes our base. With the braised bacala. A little bit more, that's olive oil. A little bit more wine. Never can get wrong on wine. And I'm putting the fish in there. A little bit of parchment paper. Some people put the foil right on top of it, which I'm not a friend of. You just put a little bit of parchment paper on there and then put the foil. Okay. And this goes in a 320-degree ovens for about 15 to 18 minutes. Loosely cover it with foil. And we're going to bake it now for the 15 minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to get our polenta. Because we're serving the bacala right over polenta. Turn the table a little bit. Okay. Flipping that over. So what I have here is a half a cup of polenta, 2 cups of chicken stock. We're going to heat up, bring that chicken stock up to a boil. And then add in the polenta and keep cooking the polenta until it's instant polenta, so it will not take that long. It should only be done about 5 minutes. And then we're putting it in a pan which has been lined with parchment paper. Third pan. Okay, we put some parchment paper in there, and that's it. So this is coming up to a boil now. You know where my menu went? Yeah, perfect. Okay. A little bit of olive oil in there. Now they're going to put the polenta in there. I seasoned already the chicken stock, but I just put a little bit more salt and pepper in there. And that's it. So meanwhile that's cooking, we have the oven all hot. So basically in another 15 minutes the bacala will be done. The polenta should be done by that time too. We're putting it in a bowl, put the bacala over it, and then we're going to serve it. Next dish what we're preparing is our Adriatic seafood stew. We have monkfish tails, we have clams, little necks, we have black mussels, we have squid, we have in there some onions, garlic, celery, oregano, thyme, clam chews, Calabrian chilies. Be a little spicy, so be careful. And then we're going to put a little bit of crushed tomatoes. So the first thing what I want to show you is you get the monkfish tails like this. I like to take off a little bit of the bloodline what you have here. And I know that some people take it and leave the bloodline on. I personally take it off. I always find when you leave bloodline on fish, it makes it a little bit fishy. Very simple. So when you order them on the marketplace, they will come unclean, so you do need to clean them. All right, here we go. Then I take the fish and just cut them into pieces. All right, and that is about it. Get my pot hot, put my olive oil in there. And what you want to do is here, don't get it too hot. You want to basically, what you're doing here, you're going to stew the onions, the garlic, and the celery until they're soft. That will take anywhere from about 3 to 5, 6 minutes, depending on how strong your oven is. The mussels, when you get them, sometimes there's a beard. You want to remove the beard and you wash them. If mussels are open or any clams are open, you don't want to use them, you want to discharge them. Okay? We're having here some white wine. We're having here some clam chews. And bay leaf, oregano, and the chili. And there I have also some chili peppers here. Alright, so this is about looking alright. This is about 8 minutes we have been cooking. We have been cooking the vegetables. We're putting in there now the tomatoes. The oregano. The bay leaf. The clam chews. Chilies. Okay, put some pepper flakes in there too. And the white wine. We bring that now up to a slight simmer. You most probably have noticed I have not put any seafood in there yet, and that is on purpose. What we're going to do is we bring it up to a simmer, which is shortly, and then we're going to add in the clams and the mussels and cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes. And then add in the fish and the calamaris. Okay. They heat a little bit. And I just use a saute pan as my lid. Okay. This one we can take away. So, this has come up to boil. I put now the mussels in there and the clams, and I'm going to cover it with my saute pan, and we'll give it about 5 minutes to cook the mussels so they will open, and then we put in there the fish and the calamaris, and if needed some more clam chews, and then finish it off with the parsley. I can hear our oven going off. Let's see how our bacala is doing. Not quite done yet, so we're giving it another 5 minutes. This time I take the foil off and just put them in there with the parchment paper. So, meanwhile we're having cooking the polenta. The bacala, I said, will take another 5 minutes. We're having the mussels and the clams working. We should be almost be there. Yes, it's getting there. And then after we have completed those 2 dishes, we will go then to the next one, which is going to be our lobster and chumbolam crab over angel hair pasta with a cream sauce. So, you actually can stop it now. Alright, our clams are almost there, so we're putting now the squid in there. Mix it up, and we're layering the monkfish right on top. little bit of the parsley. I'll put it right on top. And a little bit of salt and pepper, because we didn't season the fish. And turn down your heat. You want to now cook it a little bit on a lower heat, because if it's too high, it makes the calamaris and the fish tense up. Meanwhile, I have here some angel hair pasta. We already cooked it. You can either make your own fresh pasta. Lobster, you buy that on the marketplace already taken out. I have here lobster tails and claw and knuckle meat. Jambalaya crab meat. And then we're having some more fennel. And I have some chives then later on for the garnish. I take the fennel, again take the core out, and you finally want to chop that. Make sure there's no bruises or anything on there. Cut that off. I don't think we will need the whole fennel, but then I should have some shallots somewhere. Okay. This one here is fine, because we're going to do it anyway slightly. How our seafood stew is doing. Perfect. Okay. Here we're having the chopped shallots. So basically what we're going to do here, we have the cream. If you have a little bit of clam base which we made, okay, reduce it, or we have it already here, so you can buy it on the marketplace. I'm going to sweat the fennel and the shallots on low heat with a little bit of olive oil, put a little bit of butter in there, okay. Then put in there the cream and the clam base, and basically reducing it to a sauce. We got here the alarm on the bacala. So here we have our polenta, which is done almost. The only thing is I'm doing now is put some Parmesan cheese on top and put it back in the oven. Bacala should be done. Let's see. Yeah, they're perfect. So I just get the polenta, the cheese a little bit melting, and we're going to put it right here on the plate, topping it with the bacala, and then the sauce, and this dish is then ready to go also. This is not quite ready here. Let me show you. It's absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the olives, the tomatoes, the herbs, everything blends perfectly together. Okay. Then I need some spoons, branded spoons, cooking spoons. Okay. Our cheese has melted. Thank you very much. So I'm putting out the polenta on there. you can cool it, okay, and cut it, and then put it in the oven to bake it. Beautiful dish. Very, very simple. Really what gives it a great flavor is the dried olive, the olive cured olives, what you have on there. Gives it really a nice, beautiful flavor. Alright. And here is our pakala. I believe, there you go, the stew should be done also already. Yeah, almost done. With that one, we're serving some grilled ciabatta. It's just sliced bread, little olive oil, grill it up. If you don't have a grill at home, just put it in the oven and toast it. Give me the plate what says stew. Yeah. Thank you very much. Oh, this looks beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at how beautiful that monkfish is. Putting it all right in here. Well, as you can see, all the mussels and clams have opened. Absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to put some monkfish right here on the top. And then we're having some of the sauce. Okay. The plates, and then I take the bread, stick it right in there because it's wonderful to eat it, and it soaks up all the liquids, and it's a great way to eat this fish. Put it in here. Thank you very much. Okay. There you go. Now we're moving right along to our angel hair pasta with the crab sauce and the lobster. I'm putting in there some oil and then a little bit butter. And I have it right now a little bit on the high heat, but I will turn it down because I do not want to burn the fennel. With that I also have some white wine. And I do not heat anything beforehand because I heat everything in the sauce. So here we have some butter. We get that one all melted up. Some more. Okay, now I put the fennel in there. So I will take this bottle away. You can see it. Put the fennel in there, and I put the shallots in there. And I get this one cooked until it's soft, but no color. Meanwhile, I'm going to clean my knife again, and we're going to slice some chives. We're using them for garnish. Okay. Let me turn down the heat a little bit. Now, for whatever reason, if it should be that your fennel and shallots cook too fast, then deglaze it with white wine, because you definitely do not want to get them brown. Okay. This is coming around nicely. That should be enough. Put them in a bowl for later on to use it. Okay. I think and fennel is there. We do deglaze it now with a little bit of wine. Turn up the heat because you want to burn off the alcohol. That's wonderful. And in culinary terms, you would say reduce it to sec. Sec means almost like you want it dry. You don't want it as liquid as this, and then you add in your green. Okay. I have a little bit more lime juice in here. You can put it in there too. You do not have to use lime juice. You can use vegetable stock, whatever you feel like works for you. And I'm putting my clam base in there. Very, very similar like you would do a lobster base, roasting your shells, put your vegetables in there, and then cooking your vegetables with the shells and then reducing it. Okay. Very nicely. So here we're adding now the heavy green. I would say about a cup should be enough. And now we're going to reduce it to sauce consistency. Okay, let's see how it tastes. You don't want to put any salt or pepper in there right now because you want to wait. Until it's completely reduced, so you can adjust it then accordingly. And when I say sauce consistency, you want to have a light sauce consistency, and the reason is because we're putting in there the pasta, what you have here, which will absorb some of the liquid. So if the sauce is too thick, it will become all sticky together, and it's not going to work very well. Okay, but if that should be the case, you always can add a little bit wine, clam juice, or some heavy cream for that matter. Where's the bowl? What goes also very well with the dish, what you can add to it, is a little bit of tarragon. I add also a little bit of lemon juice in there. Lemon juice goes always very well. I think the acidity helps to balance the richness of the sauce. Okay, and I think we are almost getting there. So, that's right. Now what I'm doing now is I'm turning down the flame because I don't want it too hot. I just want it slightly simmering. And the reason is because I'm putting all my lobsters in there just a little bit. They're not completely cooked through, so you just want to gently heat them up and in the same time also cook them a little bit more. It's a very rich dish, but delicious. Excellent. Okay, the lobster is not heated up. I'm taking it out and putting it on a plate because I want them on top of my pasta for presentation purposes. If you don't want to do that, you can add it all mixed together. So I'm now adding my crab meat, mix that up, and I'm adding my pasta. Got that all mixed up here with the crab meat. Oh, that looks absolutely perfect. You eat that, you need to go the next day to the gym. Alright, and then we're finishing the whole thing off with a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano. And there you go. Let's put the pasta in here with all the crab meat. Look at that. Then we're adding our lobsters. And garnish up the whole thing with a little bit of chopped chives, a little bit more cheese, and here you go. Bon appetit. Alright, now we got one more dish left, and that is our branzino. You need to wash this and then take away this and bring me the branzino. So as I said to you before, whole fish works the best because it gives you the structure you need in order to hold it all together. Here in our case, we're going to use some string, some butcher string or twine, and then tying it and then roasting it. So we have some broccoli rabe, some leeks, mushrooms, oregano, and thyme, shallots, lemons, potatoes, they're red pea potatoes. And I have sunchokes, artichokes. They look almost a little bit like a potato. We peeled them already. And then I have my fillets of branzino and some garlic. First, I will take out the branzino fillets, and again we have them on the marketplace already, so they're ready to go. Put them on a plate. They're about 7 to 8 ounce fillets. And I have some paper towels, wrap them a little bit dry. Season them with a little bit of salt and pepper. Alright, and a hint of olive oil. Okay, that's it. Now we're going, the potatoes what we have here will be our starch with it, the broccoli rabe. Then we have leeks, The leeks, what we have here, is for stuffing. And we're going to slice them. And then Brandon will wash them. Run them over cold water and get all the seeds out, the sand. Alright, get a pan, heat it up, little olive oil. Then we have mushrooms. They're already cleaned. We slice them. Okay, then I have some garlic. I just take 1 clove, chop it, and a shallot. We're slicing the shallot. Here we go. So that's hot. I'm putting the mushrooms in there first. Thank you. To get them a little browned off first. And then when you use mushrooms, you may need to add a little bit more oil. I put also already some salt and pepper in there. After that's done, we're adding the shallots, the garlic, and the leeks. And then I'm putting in there the herbs, and I'm not cooking the herbs, I just mix it in there just before we're stuffing the fish. Okay. Okay, this is fine. It's a little dry, so I put this in there now. And I put my shallots, garlic, and leeks in there. What we're basically doing right now is we're putting the stuffing together with the fish. Okay. Meanwhile, I cut the potatoes in quarters because as we're roasting the fish, we're roasting the potatoes at the same time. Should be enough. And last but not least, I take my sunchokes. Cut them in half, slice them, okay, we need a hotel pan. So this is done now. You don't want to overcook it. Now I add in my sunchokes, my herbs, and season them a little bit more salt and pepper, and that is our stuffing. I have here a hotel pan, but you can take also a roasting pan, whatever you have at home, and use that to stuff the fish. What you want to do is you want to slightly chill the stuffing, because if it's hot like it is right now and you're putting it in the fish, it will cook the fish already. So we're putting it in the refrigerator slightly, or you can do it in the freezer. Alright. Meanwhile, I'm getting some water ready for my broccoli. Put a little bit of salt in there. We're blanching the broccoli rabe. What is the difference between the broccoli rabe here and regular broccoli, for example, what you have in the stores normally? This one has a little bit more spiciness to it, also slight bitterness to it, okay? It's a little different. And really, what is also delicious, what you eat, is the leaves. Okay, so this is the pan we're going to use to roast the fish and the potatoes. A little oil. You take the potatoes, put them in there, mix it around so they coat it with oil. Then we put a little bit of salt and pepper. And what we're also doing is, before they're completely done, you take them, when they're cooked, put a little Parmesan cheese in there and put them back in the oven to cook them a little bit more. Okay? So now we're going to stuff the Mancino. And Brandon is going to bring that. Thank you. So we have a little bit of twine, butcher twine. You do not need to do that when you have a whole fish, because you can take the whole fish cavity and then just fill it in there, but we're having fillets. I mean, you can tie it together if you want to, because it helps the fish from opening. So you lay it out. Put on there the fish fillet. Now we're going to take the filling, what we have here, and it's all goodness, all vegetables. And all those flavors will marinate into the fish when we're going to, as you can see, when we're going to roast them. Now I top the whole thing with the second fillet. Okay? And I'm tying the fish. What you also can do, and obviously that doesn't go with the 7 fishes dinner what we're doing right now, but you can take it, and rather than the twine what I have here, you can take either bacon, apple smoked bacon, prosciutto, lay it out like a blanket, and drop the fish in there, and it will hold also the shape that way. Okay, now I'm going to take it, put it in my pan, put my oil in there, salt, pepper, and here we're going in the oven at 350 degrees. I would say 10 minutes we should be fine. And we check it up and as it is. So let's clean up here. And I get a new cutting board. And we're moving right along. One thing is that we forgot, I'm sorry. Not perfect. We did forget an important thing here. And that's the lemon. Slice the lemon. into slices like this and just put it on top of the fish. This gives you, so as the lemon cooks and the sugars in the lemon will caramelize and it will give you the flavor, incredible flavor to the fish. Okay. You're taking this away here. I'm pretty sure in your kitchen it will go much faster because you have the whole family helping. So you should be done in an hour, right? We're right now about an hour and a half. So I cut the broccoli a little bit, broccoli wrap, just the stems. You washed it already. Okay. I'm waiting for my water to cook. Meanwhile, I'm smashing garlic, just one garlic, like this, and I'm putting on there the sauté pan. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is blanch the broccoli. Meanwhile, I'm taking some olive oil and garlic and bring it in a boil, bring it hot. So as soon as the broccoli is done, I'm putting it right in there and saute it. So I don't have to go through shocking it in ice water. So if you don't do it right away, I would shock it in ice water and then heat it up. Heat it up as you need it before dinner. Okay, and then we have some of the chili flakes. What goes in there too? So here's my water boiling, and I put the broccoli right in there. Just want to blanch it slightly, and you don't have to cook it until it's completely tender because you want to have a little texture to the broccoli wrap. As you can see, it really didn't look very long. I only kept it in there for about a minute. So meanwhile, this is getting hot. Okay. So I'm going to put the garlic in here and a little bit of the chili flakes, and you're sauteing that. Again, do not burn the garlic. This is actually done here, so I put it here. Do not burn the garlic. This is fine. Put in there your broccoli. Salt and pepper. Some people put in there some paste, anchovies paste. It's fine, you can do that. I decided to keep it a little bit more neutral because the branzino is somewhat of a more delicate fish, and that's it. So here we're doing our broccoli wrap. absolutely beautiful, very Christmassy. Okay. And then we are waiting for the fish and the potatoes, and then we are ready. Now here's our last course, and as I said, we're doing a ginger lemon tiramisu. Okay, so we actually did sponge, layered it between the ginger cream, and now we're going to finish it off with a little bit of whipped cream. Some chopped pistachios, and then I have some of the rolled wafers. And of course you can finish it off with whatever you want to. But what I like on this one here, it has the ginger in there, it has the lemon in there, and really is somewhat of a cleanser after eating all of those dishes. And then we're adding some wafers. And here is our right in front. Here's right our dessert. So let me see if the fish is ready, and then we're done. This is ready here. So the fish seems to be getting there. So let's see here. Okay, that looks absolutely gorgeous. What we're going to do is we're taking the fish off here. We need a spatula here. And then, like I said before, is we take the potatoes what we have here and we make Parmesan potatoes. So the only thing is what you do is sprinkle it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese and then put it back in the oven for another minute or two. Meanwhile, I'm taking the fish out because the fish is ready. So let's put that back. Okay, so carefully remove the string. If you would have taken prosciutto, you would have been able to eat the whole thing. And as you can see, the lemon is nicely caramelized. Here's our potatoes. You served it with a little bit of lemon and that's fine. So let's cut the lemon in half. And here's our baked pancino. So here's our feast of the 7 fishes. Again, let's recap what we have done. The fritto misto with the garlic lemon aioli. Then we're going to do the tuna crudo with the fennel orange salad, fried caper blossoms. Then we did the bacala, which is braised with the olive cured potatoes, olive cured olives and capers and tomatoes. Then we're going to have our Adriatic seafood stew with the mussels, the clams, the monkfish, the squid rings, our crab and lobster, angel hair pasta, the crab sauce, our baked branzino stuffed with the vegetable stuffing and Parmesan potatoes, broccoli wrap, and then the ginger lemon tiramisu. I hope you're not getting hungry for Christmas. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Season. Enjoy cooking. Check the website. We're updating the marketplace so you can get all the fishes here at the club. Place it and we will have it ready for you. And any questions you might have, just give me a call. Bon appetit.